All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, we are back again on the other side of the coin. Another week, the Chelsea boys are here. We'll bring you the Chelsea latest news. So much to talk about. This is what happens when we wait a week with the boys. There's so many things that happen, and then it's a great catch up, especially this week with the Super Cup, us beating Palace. Of course, the whole Lukaku situation developing even more. Tammy Abraham moving on as well. So yeah, it's fantastic. We're going to talk about all of that, unpack everything, look at some of the post-match quotes as well, which is going to be very, very interesting. But before all of this, live chat, thank you so much for joining. As always, nearly 30 people already. Please smash the like button as soon as you come in. Helps the channel out immensely. And remember to subscribe. We are now chasing 8,000 subscribers. So get those likes up. It will help the channel out, and you're always enjoying it. So you might as well just do this. And also check out the boys, and their socials are in the description right away. And follow me, especially in his YouTube channel that he runs as well. So go out and check that out. Kishan, my man, how you doing?
I'm all good. I literally just forgot about how many different things have happened in the week until you said. Completely forgot about the Super Cup and how we've not spoken since then as well. So yeah, it's been a brilliant week. I think emotion-wise, the Super Cup had us so high. We had a penalty shootout, so that's always going to be really hard. Then the next day, you announced Lukaku. Day after or so, you got a game against Palace that we do really well, which we'll get into. And then now we look forward to Arsenal, and you look at what's going on at Arsenal. And this is when, against us, this is when they're at their most dangerous, when they've got nothing to play for. This time, when you got Lukaku to come against that defense, he must be licking his lips.
100%, man. Look, no more mishaps against Arsenal. They are at the bottom of the pit right now. They're absolutely rock bottom. We need to ensure they could possibly go with 3 losses straight up. Like, they've lost against Brentford. If they lose against us, that's 2. And then they got Man City. So
City is like a definite, yeah. Even us, it should be like a definite. It's just we need to see Big Rom do the business against
Can you imagine, boys, 3 losses for them to start off? I pray, please, Lord. I would love to see them with 0 points after 3 matches, smack bottom of the table, and really, fighting like early contenders of relegation. I would love that. I would really.
They need to pick up ever so slightly, because we need Arteta to say it as well.
Exactly. I was just about to say that we need Arteta there, man.
Every now and then, 1 win. Like 6 losses, 1 win. 6 more losses, 1 win. Just to keep in there. Ameya, my boy, how you doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Like you said, it's been so long since we last talked, and I remember the last time we were like, hopefully we get the Super Cup, hopefully Lukaku's announced, and hopefully we get the win against Palace, and it's tick, all 3. So
all our hopes have come alive.
Exactly. So buzzing to be here, and hopefully it's a good stream today. I'm pretty sure it's going to be, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. We've already started the banter side of it as well. So looking forward to the rest of it, and hopefully the live chat tune in as well.
100%. Nearly 50 of you guys already logged on after 3 minutes. Just a FYI, our last stream, ladies and gentlemen, which was last Sunday, is the record for this particular channel. We hit 13.5K or nearly 14K, which is incredible numbers what we did last Sunday. So thank you so much, live chat, for each and every one of you guys to help out. I think it was something around 450 likes as well, which was incredible. So you guys are definitely enjoying the combination that we've got going here. Before we kick things off, as I always like to do, I want to give a shout out to the live chat. You guys have been so awesome. Keep the comments coming, whatever topic that we talk about. It just adds value to the discussion that we have. I've got Sudiraki here. Horizon is on a madness. He just came here and unleashed in the beginning before the stream was even on. Plamen is here. Thank you so much. Yusuf, as always, my man, is here. Brent Smith. This guy has to be one of the legends of this channel right now. Always here on the stream. Football Star, good to see you as well. Tumo is here. Pratik is another legend of this particular channel. Deals is another legend as well. Keeps in touch with me via Instagram. Thank you so much, Deals. Bonolo, another regular. Jensen, Surbajoti, another regular. And who else do we have? Yeah, that's the ones that have commented, and we've got 50 plus right now. All right, let's get straight into this. First of all, Kishan, Romelu Lukaku, number 9. I'm going to bring this up first of all, which is quite interesting because I was kind of getting a bit worried about this because for a few matters, personal matters as well, because I ordered the jersey a few days ago from Super Jersey, Super Shirts, Super Football Shirts when we did the promo. And I already told the guys to do a special sort of custom selection for me and the people that follow me and the viewers, subscribers. I said, make sure the Lukaku number 9 is ready. And they customized it for me and they had that option ready. And the guys mentioned it to me that, Miz, are you sure? Because 1, he's not announced yet. 2, you don't know what number he's going to get. I said, nah, there's no way he's going to get anything besides 9. Tammy Abraham's going to move on. And then a few days ago, people were saying that Lukaku is going to be the number 18. Apparently, he's been registered as the 18. It's the shirt that he got when he first came to Chelsea. And I was like, no, it can't be. Tammy's got to move on. He's going to move on, and Lukaku should take. I mean, at the end of the day, 18 is not as marketable as 9. RL9, Romelu Lukaku 9 is so much more marketable. Kishan, what's your thoughts about this whole jersey situation? Obviously, now it's confirmed that Romelu Lukaku will get the number 9. As you can see here, Kevin Palmer saying so. It will be Romelu Lukaku, Chelsea's number 9. Obviously, Tammy Abraham should be finalizing his deal today. Apparently, he should be in Rome today sometime, which we will talk about. But yeah, Kishan, how do you feel about this, man? Number 9.
I think like the biggest clue was the other day when they announced all the squad numbers, they didn't even say Lukaku was 18. I think they might have had to register him as like that on the Premier League website or something, but he was always going to get the 9. I wasn't actually too bothered about the whole number situation, and I think it's because of like the history of 9s we've had. Like that's why I wasn't. And the 18, I kind of came around to it because it's a bit more poetic. Like he started at 18, he comes back at 18, so I wouldn't have minded it too much. But 9 is what 9 is. It's this big striker number. He needs to put the curse, like take the curse off it. Some could say Tammy kind of did take the curse off it, but this is like we need a superstar at 9. And one thing that struck me is, you know, when you had the picture side by side between Tammy and Lukaku, the size difference between the two. Look at
bro, that's immense. I mean, one's an absolute monster.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just so looking forward to him actually putting that 9 shirt on and getting on to field next week. He'll definitely start as well. So, and when you look at the defenders,
do you reckon he will start? Do you reckon he will start against us?
If this was a home game, I think he might have come off the bench because you get that ovation off the bench. But because it's away, it doesn't really make a difference. So I think he will start.
Fair point.
He's got a whole week because he comes into training tomorrow as well, doesn't he? So he's got the whole week.
He comes into training tomorrow. His quarantine should finish up, comes into training. I would love to see him start, man, and absolutely annihilate Arsenal from the get-go. Maybe even get himself a hat-trick on his comeback. Ameya, my man, were you bothered at all with the 18 or the 9? Are you happy that it's the 9 now?
Yep, I am actually. I really hope that Lukaku can, finally break that number 9 curse, although Tammy did sort of break it earlier. 100%. I actually was under the impression that we can't, because I remember last season when Barkley wore the 8 and then later on he went on loan to Aston Villa, but then we couldn't assign anyone else the number 8 kit because Barkley had already worn it once, which is why I was a little concerned initially. But then apparently the rules say that he has to wear the kit and make an appearance, right? And Tammy Abraham was just on the bench.
I just realized something, Ameya, while you've been saying, because a lot of people were complaining, why didn't Tammy feature yesterday? Do you reckon this could have been it?
It could have been one of the reasons, yeah.
I think it's 100% the reason, to be honest. Well, I think he would have got a few, like 2 or 3 minutes because Tuchel knows he's going. He might have given him like a quick run around, but because of the 9, I don't think
he gave Emerson playing time, right? He could have literally given it to anyone else. So
yeah, because you know what, Ameya and Kishan, a lot of people, when I was tweeting yesterday, they were saying, "Oh, I can't believe Tuchel's so heartless, not giving Tammy a chance to say goodbye." But this now makes sense, because if Tammy got a chance, then he comes in with the 9, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And then
no
Lukaku
one
would
else.
not have been able to use the 9.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I got smart boys like these guys coming to my channel talking about all of these things, or else I would have never realized. But yeah, carry on, Ameya.
Yep. So hopefully, I mean, it looked like he was hell bent on wearing that number 9 kit, right? I mean, even when our squad numbers were announced for the season, right, our 23-man squad for the Premier League, it said Lukaku's number will be confirmed in due course, right? We didn't even got him a temporary number, so he really wanted that number 9, and he's got it, and now it's up to him to deliver, and hopefully he does. I mean, he has to, right? It's just too well written for him not to at this point. So hopefully he does. And yep, I hope he gets the start against Arsenal. I really think he can. I mean, he's got 4 or 5 days of training ahead of him, and I think he should definitely start that one. But let's see. Tuchel confirmed that he will feature. Right? He said that Lukaku will definitely make his debut against Arsenal.
He will debut. Yeah.
So we just have to see whether it's a starter or off the bench. But either ways, he's going to come on and give the defense a bad time, because Brentford gave them a bad time, and we should realistically be all over them, honestly.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure you boys would have watched the Brentford game. I watched most of the first half, and then obviously watched the second half. I was very impressed with Brentford, the way they took the game against Arsenal. Their goals were thoroughly deserved. They looked like the much better team, which was crazy. This is their first Premier League game ever, I believe, for Brentford. So to come in and whoop Arsenal the way they did was incredible. So we need to go out there, and us being the Super European champions, not just the Champions League, but Super Cup as well, winners, we need to go out there and absolutely show Arsenal who the boss is. All right, let's talk about the next topic. We've taken care of Lukaku. Kishan, I'll go to you. First, quickly, because I haven't had the chance to talk to you guys about the Super Cup victory. Let's talk a little bit about that, and then we'll talk about the Palace situation, some post-match comments that I want to bring up as well. Kishan, this time last week, we were sitting here thinking, all right, Super Cup's just coming up. I was confident that we were going to beat them. I think you lads were confident as well.
You were saying 5 and 6. You were saying
I said 5 and 6. But the way it transpired, I mean, I feel we got a bit lucky at the end, because second half it was all Villarreal. Yeah. We were tiring. Bit of a masterstroke from Thomas Tuchel to bring on Kepa. I really like that, because I was hoping Mendy's really not going to dive much in penalties. Yeah. I've seen him against Spurs last season. So bit of a masterstroke. What a way to start the season with a silverware, a top silverware as well. Kishan, what were you thinking when we won that particular trophy?
I was buzzing, because literally I remember coming on here last week and saying, like, I find those 2 trophies, the add-ons from the Champions League, so like I want us to win. I find them so big, because we've just, like, since I've been watching, it's the 2 things I've never seen us win, and now we're like one more step left, and then we complete football. For me, I can sit back and say we've won every trophy that we can, really. So yeah, for me, that those trophies are massive. And when we won it, like the style in which we won it, there's always something great about when you win on penalties, because everyone is not confident in penalties. I think when Kepa came on, because we've not spoken on camera, it still doesn't feel like it, but we speak quite a lot on the messages, so I feel like I still know your views on it and stuff. So when Kepa came on, we were actually, I think all of us in general were quite happy, because we've talked about Mendy in penalties here quite a bit as well. So when Kepa came on, I was really happy. And when we went 1-0 down, I still thought Kepa would save a few, but I wasn't sure we'd score every single one of ours again. So every time our players stepped up, I was anxious. Probably the most confident I felt with the player was probably like Marcus Alonso. So like, the penalty.
His penalty was good, even though he slipped.
And Jorginho, yeah. But the penalty takers are so random. In my head, I can make it up and be like, oh, it'd be this guy. And then it comes to it, and you have like your right back and your left back taking one. It's just completely random. And like the fact that like they all scored after Havertz missed, I don't know what, the Havertz was the most telegraphed penalty I've ever seen. I just opened.
Right, he looked so tired when he took that. He looked so tired. But yeah, Rudiger's penalty was good as well. Azpilicueta's penalty was excellent.
Yeah, Polissich made me a bit nervous. I don't know, because the
Polissich was
overall
good.
vibe he gave me in the game.
Yeah.
I thought he had a poor game, and we'll get into this on his game yesterday as well. I was sending all those messages, and he goes and pops on now. Like, oh, okay. But yeah, no, really happy with it. You're right, we got away with it, but it's like yesterday you saw it felt like our season started. Villarreal definitely, when you look at how we played, it was like it was a preseason game. We didn't turn up with the same level of play, and it's understandable. But I'm so happy that they clicked into gear when the actual season started yesterday.
So true, bro. So true. I was a bit scared, as I've said it in my preview as well.
Yeah.
I was talking to you guys in DMs that, I feel like our fitness is just a bit off still. It'll take a bit of time, but oh my days, like we came out with a different swagger against Palace, and it looked like we could have probably gone a few layers ahead. Ameya, just quickly from your end as well, the Super Cup victory, us lifting a trophy before the season had even started, the Premier League season. What a way to start the season for the lads, for the fans as well. How'd you take that, man?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Honestly, when Havertz missed the first penalty, I was like, you know what? It's just a glorified preseason game anyway. I was already.
Do you know what, Ameya? I didn't lose hope after Havertz missed. I was like, yeah, it's just the first one.
Hoping Kepa.
Honestly, I thought Kepa was going to save a few. I really did. So I wasn't like, let's see how this goes. But yeah,
I mean, obviously, like I did lose all hope, but then when you miss the first one, you're obviously like so demoralized, right? And you're like, you know what, maybe the Super Cup, I'm just not meant to see Chelsea lift the Super Cup. But I'm so delighted that we got the win in the end. Delighted for Kepa as well, and you could see that on Twitter as well. Everyone was so happy for Kepa. That was actually very great to see. I mean, everyone usually ends up abusing him, but then for once, everyone turned up together to praise him. So that was good to see from Kepa as well. And then I mean, the Super Cup, it didn't look like we were operating at 100%, honestly. And I know you guys said that as well, but yep, it didn't look like we were operating at full 100%. I'm sure Tuchel told, you know what, conserve your energy, just go about this at your own pace. And then we really turned up yesterday, and like throughout the 90 minutes, we never even we just never sat back, right? We just kept on pressing and pressing and pressing. So it was really good yesterday. It seems like two completely different games, in my opinion. And like you said, we treated that sort of like a preseason friendly, if I'm being honest, and we still came away with the trophy. So fair play for the players and Thomas Tuchel for that, and good to see that we got a trophy. That's about it.
100%,
one other thing,
man.
Miz,
Go on, Kishan.
Dampened it so much was the Ziyech injury, because he looked brilliant all pre-season as well. So when that injury happened, even the goal, he took it really, really well. And it's well documented that I didn't think he'd get many minutes this season, but the way he started in preseason and the way he played throughout, he had an amazing chance. If he managed to stay fit, I'm pretty sure he would have started the game yesterday. So it's really annoying. It's really annoying on that side, but it's like, even on top of that, you had the slight Kante niggle that he got. So it is tough, but like on top of all of that, the fact that we managed to win this next game, because I think we see this next game as like the one where a lot of players are out, the team's not fully themselves. By next week, if you add Lukaku and Kante into the mix of what we have already, I think it's just like we're not looking at next week as a game that we're all scared for, or we think something might happen. It is because it's a derby with Arsenal. This can always happen, but from our side, I think we're fully prepared now.
Yeah, man, 100%. I'm in no doubt that we are ready to challenge for the title. We're going to look at some of the quotes from Thomas Tuchel. Obviously, he's not playing it down, but trying to keep the fan base in check, not get too excited as yet, because there is a gap that we need to bridge with Man City. Obviously, Liverpool and Man United finished ahead of us. Let's not forget. So, but as you said, Kishan, we do have the ingredients to fight for this particular title. So, yeah, absolutely agreed, man. But yeah, you just reminded me, and it just struck my heart again, man. I'm trying to forget the whole Ziyech injury, but you just reminded me, bro. And I've said it, man.
It helps when we're winning, mate.
I know, man. And the crazy part is that if the boys, and I completely hope the boys go and keep on winning like this and keep on scoring. The thing is, Ziyech is fit, he'll find it very difficult to come back in again, because if we continue winning, especially Polissich scoring, if you start getting Mount scoring as well, and Kai Havertz and Lukaku balling out as well, once again, out of sight, out of mind. And before you know it, everyone's going to be starting to say, oh, well, Ziyech doesn't need to be in our team. We can let go of him. So it's just a bummer, man. That's what happens when you get an injury. But let's see what happens. Hopefully he recovers from it, and then we'll see where it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 164 live after 20 minutes. Let's get the likes up to well over 100. You guys are going to love this stream. You guys always love when I get the boys here, the Chelsea News boys here. So smash the like button, get the likes up to well over 150. As I've always said, it helps the channel out a lot. And you guys have been so, imperious to this particular growth, the likes that you guys provide. So please smash the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe as well. Check out the boys and their socials in the description right now. All right, Ameya, I'll go to you first up with this one. Obviously, we beat Crystal Palace yesterday. Fine performance. I was very, very impressed by the way we carried that particular match. I thought we were going to be a bit tired off the back of the 120 minutes. I thought some of the players might not be up in terms of fitness level, but it was a polished performance. I honestly think it was a very polished performance. And the scary part was, Ameya, is not just that there were some injuries and there's still some players to come, i.e. Romelu Lukaku still to be inserted into this team, but it looked like the players that were playing could have gone a few levels up even more. Our passing was crisp, pressing, counter-pressing. We boxed Palace in their half. We suffocated them. This over here is what Patrick Vieira had to say post-match, saying many teams will come to Stamford Bridge and suffer. What were your takes on that particular match, Ameya?
Honestly, that performance exceeded my expectations. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I expected us to get the win, but, at the same time, the way that we played yesterday, it was just so impressive. And, considering how unhappy everyone was with the team news, I was unhappy as well. I mean, when I saw that Azpilicueta was playing right wing back, and I'm not a particularly big fan of Alonso as well, although Alonso did have an excellent game in the Super Cup as well.
We're going to talk about Alonso. He blew my mind. But yeah, carry on.
But yeah, I mean, looking at the team on paper without Kounde, without Havertz on the bench and no Romelu Lukaku, with Pulisic's preseason not exactly going as per plan, I was actually not expecting such a great performance from the lads. But then the way that they played, I mean, we were all over them, right? And that's high praise, right? I mean, the way that we played, it looked like Crystal Palace couldn't even pass the ball 2 or 3 times without us pressing them, and then they couldn't get in behind. It was just, I think, they had 2 shots and 1 on target, if I'm not wrong, which was easily saved by Mendy. You can hardly count that.
Honestly, we could have given Bettinelli a debut for that match. We could have just chilled out and at least could have said started for Chelsea. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It was that sort of game. We were all over them, and I know there are some, some concerns about Vieira's tactical knowledge and stuff like that. I know, but at the same time, the Palace side is pretty decent, and Vieira actually had a pretty decent season with Nice when he took charge of them for the first time. The second season was bad, but the first season was actually pretty decent. So, and they have a solid squad. Let's not forget that. So I would say, very impressed by the performance. And I just watched the Manchester United game before, and that they'd won 5-1, and I was like, I was just hoping we put in another good performance, because when you see Manchester United do so well before you, and then you go, and then if you don't perform up to standard, then all your friends, my mate's a Manchester United fan, he's going to be like,
so true.
How well they played, and Chelsea, you consider yourselves as title favorites, and then you come out and play put in such a performance. But they put in a performance of champions. Honestly, they put in a fantastic performance, and I was so happy. Could not be more delighted with the performance. Honestly, I'm losing words here.
No, it was a stupendous performance. We'll talk about Alonso very soon, but you're right, man. I watched the Man United game as well, and you guys already know I watch a lot of Leeds after Chelsea, and I had real high hopes for Leeds in that game. And do you know what? Before the floodgates opened in that match, the Mason Greenwood, that Luke Ayling shot that blistering shot, much like the Chalobah kind of situation. I thought, wow, I think Leeds is going to come back. And Leeds, up until then, were not bad. They were very good. The way they play football, I honestly love it. The thing about Leeds is, defensively, they do need to take care of themselves a lot. They just got... look, I have to admit, Paul Pogba was in a different level with his passing yesterday, man. Some of the passing, the way he found Bruno Fernandes, as much as I don't really like this particular player because of his dirty nature at times, but man, some of the finishes that he did yesterday were impeccable. So you're right, Ameya. After watching that game, I was like, please, Lord, please save Chelsea's face. We are the European champions. We need to play well. And then obviously we put on the performance that we did, and I was like, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Kishan, I want to talk about Marcos Alonso because I'm seeing a bit of a difference here this season. And I want to see what you think about this. This is what my observation has been through the preseason, the Villarreal game, and now the Crystal Palace game. Live chat, let me know what your thoughts are with Marcos Alonso as well. And I want to see what you guys have to say about him. Kishan, what I've been noticing is Thomas Tuchel, for me, I think has worked out his limitations. So he's worked out what Marcos Alonso's limitations are. So he doesn't want Marcos Alonso just to bomb up and then there's no one sort of covering for him. So one of the distinct tactical thing that I've watched in the Villarreal game and in the Crystal Palace is when Marcos Alonso bombs up, whether he bombs up to create an overlap or whether he cuts in to create another body into the box, add another extra body in the box when the crosses come in from the right. That was the other thing that I noticed from Mason Mount. Early crosses were happening yesterday. That either Kovacic and Rudiger would shift to the left and ensure the gap that he's created by moving forward is not, there's no empty space there. That we know that he's not capable of sprinting back and coming to defend. So that was one of the factors that I saw. The other factor that I saw was he doesn't always seem to bomb up all the time. There were times where he was in line with the midfielders, where he was trying to help out with the build-up. And defensively as well, Rudiger stayed close enough to ensure that he doesn't get exposed too often 1v1 like the way he used to get under Frank Lampard. So I feel like there was some fine-tuning, and this is what I like about Thomas Tuchel, man. He does the homework on every player. And I know some people can say, well, why do the players have to look after the other player? Well, it's a team sport. That's what you do. You look after other people's flaws so that as a team, you look better. Is this what you've been noticing as well, Kishan? Like, I'm seeing a better performance from Alonso.
See, I don't know if I didn't go as technical as you, but I didn't think about all these things where Rudiger tucks in, because the one chance that I remember Palace getting yesterday, it was actually when
Alonso didn't try.
So he was chasing back, and you're not chasing back very well. Like, you saw him trying, and you're like, no, you're not trying hard enough. It was when Zaha had the ball and he put it in, Rudiger blocked it by sliding, and then Christensen put it away for a corner. That was the one sort of dangerous part they had in the game. And I still think Alonso will be Alonso, Miz, but you're right, with maybe they're trying to minimize that because you're never going to get it perfectly.
Yeah.
But as long as you can minimize it, is very true. And he just looks a lot smoother on the ball. Like, when he has the ball, he didn't seem to lose it at all yesterday.
That's
and it's
right.
like someone's coming to get the ball off him. He'll do the slowest ball roll in the world, but like, they still don't get it off him. There was this really good one.
He used to be clumsy, right? Kishan, he used to be clumsy. He didn't look clumsy anymore.
I never really found him clumsy, Miss, but there were be times where he'd get lost on the ball and he'd get crowded out. Now he seems like even when he gets crowded out, he'll maneuver into some sort of space, draw a foul or something like that, or draw a throw in. So he for me has improved massively, and he's so clutch. I can't even tell you how clutch this is. What's that? 22 league goals.
Free kick, bro. That free kick. Bro, oh my days.
And you know what? Yeah, we can say now, like, don't get me wrong, our performance was absolutely brilliant. But when you look at clear-cut chances we created shit all. And this is like quiet. Like, in the first half an hour, I was so scared because we were playing brilliant football, but no real like proper chances. So when that free kick goes in, it just gives you that goal. And then when you look at the rest of our goals, the second one was a proper, like, we created that. And the third one's just a weldy as well. I don't know if you guys saw our XG at the end, but it's 1 point something and we got 3 goals. So it shows that we scored weldies. And this is like, in the match, the first 20 minutes, I was like, oh, Lukaku, we really need you, because there was that lack of presence in the box and stuff. And these are the times where sometimes Alonso provides that from the wing backs, or sometimes he can just do something like this from a free kick. And like, that's just brilliant for us. So he got the ball moving so well for us. A few minutes later, we double the lead and then it's done from there. But like you said, like, the changes in him are massive, and this is the guy we've been offering in swap deals to everyone. Like Hakimi, offer him in the swap deal.
Swap everywhere.
Kounde, put him in the swap deal. But like,
Inter Milan, Lukaku, put him in the swap deal.
Put him in the swap deal.
Hakimi, put him in the swap deal.
Literally, I've never forgot how clutch this guy is. Even like, I remember when we were talking about Hakimi, I'd always say, yeah, Hakimi would cross, the striker misses it, and you got Alonso at the back. Alonso, I don't know. If we sell this guy now, I'd be majorly disappointed. I don't know what you guys think. I think we lose a lot of goals.
Good backup, bro. Good backup. But the highest Premier League defender, the highest goal scorer as a Premier League defender, apparently in the last 5 years, 25 goals or something like that, or 22 goals. So
22 goals. He's the highest scoring since he's come in. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's incredible. Ameya, I know we talked about the goal for Alonso, but let's not forget that early cross that he put in as well in the first half with Polissich comes in. And I tweeted, that's Lukaku, that's a goal. Like that is banged in and it's a goal. And those were the little things that I noticed from Alonso yesterday. Early crosses, nice crosses as well, dangerous ones. He knew exactly when to enter the box. Generally, when Mount, as I said, Mount was putting in early crosses from the right side as well, and you'd have Polissich and Timo in the box, but then Alonso would make a third man into the box as well. And you remember, Ameya, back in the days, we'd throw in the cross and literally just one person to aim. Now there's 3, and then you also have the midfielders sometimes join in as well. So it's like we've slowly started to pick up on what Thomas Tuchel really wants. And Alonso, don't forget as well, who was it that put in the ball for Alonso? Was it Werner? And Alonso's shot was literally...
The volley thing.
Yeah, it was literally a few inches away. He could have got a...
Wasn't it saved by the keeper? Keeper saved it?
Oh, was it keeper saved it?
I thought Jorginho, long ball, and then keeper saves it.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, there was another opportunity.
One as well, Miz, like a really good chance. It came from that left side. Someone put the ball into Werner, and he went with the right.
It was Alonso.
Was it Alonso?
Yeah, Jorginho passed that with his left boot, and then Alonso, cut it back, and then Werner.
Pass from Jorginho with the left. I thought that's the first time I've seen him ping with his left.
That was brilliant. And the way Jorginho was getting Alonso was on a regular basis. Long ball, boom, straight to Alonso. I mean, what's your thoughts on Alonso's game, man? And are you seeing improvements? Or, I mean, we still have Emerson. Chilwell will undoubtedly become the number 1 left wing back as well. But who do you let go now of Alonso, Emerson? I mean, we do need a backup, though.
Yep, I would say Emerson, honestly. I think Alonso is pretty late in his career as well. I don't see how much money he would raise, which is why I think we were trying to include him in swap deals, right? Because no one's going to come in and bid that straight up amount. But when you include him in a swap deal, you can probably reduce that person's price even further. Emerson, on the other hand, he's 27. He had a decent Euros. And there's so much interest from other clubs in Italy as well. So honestly, I would see Emerson as being the one more likely on the transfer list at the moment. And Alonso might just end up staying. I mean, of course, I know there's a long way to go in the transfer window, but we don't have another left back at the club, right? So I would say Alonso and Chilwell. I mean, Chilwell's obviously going to be the first choice left wing back once the season starts, properly. But Alonso, I wouldn't mind him having here at the club. Honestly, I used to keep saying that we've got to get rid of Alonso. I'm guilty of that, but especially this entire preseason, right? It's not just yesterday's game. I was pretty impressed with his game against Villarreal as well. If I'm being honest, he looked pretty decent in that one as well. So I would say, I absolutely wouldn't mind keeping Alonso here at the club as a as a second choice, as long as he's fine with it. I think it would actually work really well. And yep, that's about it. I think he was really impressive yesterday. The team as a whole was really impressive yesterday. I think we've spoken about that. Jorginho was outstanding, honestly.
Outstanding. Jorginho was impeccable. Honestly, he's not been getting enough plaudits in social media. He really needs to. I swear that was a brilliant game from him.
100%. It was an incredible game from Jorginho as well. And in fact, Kovacic as well. He I don't know what, suddenly he wore the number 8 kit. He was taking shots. I've never seen Kovacic shoot in my entire life.
But he still needs to improve, though. He needs to improve in those shots.
He needs to improve, but at least he's trying.
He got an assist with the number 8 now as well, didn't he?
I mean, as much as you want to call it an assist, it was more of a Chalobah screamer. But yeah, he did get an assist, of course.
So exactly. So I was really impressed with the team performance as a whole, and just I had Kounde and Lukaku and Havertz into this, and Chilwell as well. It's going to be really exciting, and I think this is what we want. We want even our fringe players to let's not beat around the bush. I mean, what probably you can say 6 or 5 or 6 of our first team players started yesterday, right? The rest of them are going to be replaced. So. And those guys still put in such a great performance. This is what we want to see. We want to see our first teamers earn their shot to be called as the first choice. And as it stands, these fringe players are actually giving them a run for their money. So this is what I want to see. And hopefully, it breeds a hardworking group of guys. And hopefully this is what we want for the entirety of the season. When your first choice isn't up to the mark, you need to have someone who's as motivated to come in and do the job. That's why the Premier League is so hard to win, right? It's not a tournament. Every single game, being 38 games, you've got to be at your best. And now we know that even if we're not at the best, we have such good fringe players to come in and do the job as well. That's what I picked off from yesterday.
100%. Absolutely agree. Thomas Tuchel joking about Chelsea's goal scorer. In the Premier League, it will stay super hard to score. So we are happy with 3 goals, and we did it without a penalty from Jorginho, which is a good step for us. As Kishan mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, our XG was less than 2. So for us to go out there and actually score 3, which was absolutely brilliant. Let's look at a few other quotes here. There's another one over here in regards to title challenge post-match. Thomas Tuchel, in regards to the title charge. To be totally honest, I see us as the number 4 that cannot be the favorite in the next year. This is the Premier League, a tough competition. It's on us. We are in this role and in the role of the hunters. We have to close the gap to Liverpool, Man City, and Man United. Kishan, I'll go to you first up. Obviously, we'll talk about Polissich after this. I think it's very important to talk about that particular player as well, because we had a bit of comments in the DM, which I'd love to share with the live chat. There you go. He's got Pulissich's jersey on. Then don't be thinking he's a Polissich hater. He's not. But before we do that, Kishan, this particular comment from Thomas Tuchel, I think deep down he knows we're here to win the title. I mean, we need to be challenging, but I think he's playing some mind games and obviously keeping the fan base in check a little bit. That, look, these guys finished ahead of us. We're the hunters. We got to hunt them down. I mean, the narrative is quite legitimate. But what's your thoughts?
The difference from last season when he came in and he was like, "No, we have to win now. If we can't win now, this is Chelsea. We have to win now." And then again, he was like, "Oh yeah, from day one, we'll be chasing City and making sure that we go all out to chase them and catch them from day one." And now he's coming out with this, but I think this is purely to cover his back. And just say at the season we ended second or third, he'd say, "Yeah, look, like these teams were ahead of us. We shortened the gap. There's still a little gap, and the season after we'll go again." So I think it's just to cover himself, but he knows our team is good enough to be actually winning it itself. So I think it's just one of those tactics where he doesn't want to give out everything a bit too early and say, "No, we're actually in this title race full on and we're going to go for it." He said something the other day when he was quizzed about that quote about chasing City from day one, and he said, "Yeah, I meant it, but it's like all these factors happen where we're not in the peak sort of condition that we can be. We just played 120 minutes and now we've got this." But when you look at what happened in that game, and this is how I saw the game. I saw this game as so independent. Like, because the players are so different. Who we'll have available in a week will be so different. So it's just that get in, get those 3 points. It don't matter how we get them, 1-0, 3-2, whatever. Get out alive with 3 points and then go for next week. But we pretty much got out of it perfectly, perfect condition with players to come in. And now the players that played this week, they all looked so good that you wonder, you're going to find it quite hard to integrate some extra players. Some will always come in. So your Lukaku's even Kante. You look at Georgie and Cover, how they played that week. It's a bit of a, because I remember this thing happened.
Bro, there is an argument to have, right? There is an argument to have. I mean,
absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
So do you remember last year, Miz, when Thomas Tuchel came in and Kante was injured? So first 4 or 5 games was always Georgie and Cover, and Kante sort of had to be cycled in the right time and get a few minutes here.
Yeah. But you know what, Kishan? Slowly but surely, Kante took over.
Oh, bro, Kante, he's still something else. He's world class on a different level. So I'd fully expect him to eventually take over back, and you'd expect it to be from Cover. But it's just a debate, because this is what we want. We want someone to come in and do such a job that is hard for someone to get back in. And this is brilliant. And like you said, with Ziyech as well, because he's not here, if the attackers perform, it's going to be hard for him to get in, which is a shame, but it's what we'd want from everyone. We need them to step up their numbers from last season if we're really going to contend for this title. And I think we'll go all the way, to be honest.
100. Ameya, I want to touch on this particular quote from Thomas Tuchel, scoring 3 times. We tried to help also with the addition of Romelu Lukaku to power squad. In the Premier League, it will stay super hard to score. We can still improve in the last third. We can still be calmer and more clinical. I mean, the fact we scored 3 goals without Ziyech, who was on fire, and without Lukaku, who's literally been bought into banging the 20-plus goals, and knowing that Lukaku should be starting next week against Arsenal, how do you feel now? Do you feel that, I think, and I said this yesterday in my review as well, Ameya, that I just feel the entire team has got a massive uplift knowing that Romelu Lukaku is just around the corner. That beast is about to get unleashed. I mean, you thought we were scary now. Wait till you see our main man. And you literally, I was going to say that I don't want to, fine, I'll say it. Shit. I don't like saying this kind of stuff in my channel because the kids watch it as well. But yeah, you literally shit your pants. But that's what's going to happen when Lukaku comes in. But Ameya, man, I mean, yeah, are we Premier League favourites, or are you sort of looking at it from Thomas Tuchel's perspective that, no, we're the hunters. We'll be hunting them down, and then whatever happens, we see what happens.
I think it's a combination of both. If I'm being honest, it does look like we have our sights on the title, right? And I mean, you don't sign a £100 million striker and say you're not contending for the title, right? That's not how it works. But at the same side, it looks like City still definitely have a much better squad than us. They have one of the best managers of all time at the helm, and then they're likely to add Harry Kane as well into that mix. So I mean, if they get Harry Kane, then once again they're automatic title favorites, right? And I mean, they already are, but if they sign Kane, it just makes them that much more of
I think Kane and Grealish and KDB,
exactly. It just makes them, it takes them to the ultimate level, right? I mean, they're already so much clear of everyone else, and then that one signing is going to take them even higher. So I would say City are still the team to beat, which is why Thomas Tuchel is using this approach, and he wants to take it one game at a time, right? Because you look at it over a 38-game season, and you think, what, City is obviously going to annihilate any opposition that comes in their way. So it's going to be so difficult for us. But as a Chelsea manager, you've got to tell your players, let's take it one game at a time, right? Let's not look at it over a 38-game season and then start getting intimidated. If we take it one game at a time, right, just stay within City's reach. Take it one game at a time, stay within City's reach, and if they falter anywhere, pick up on their mistakes, and then who knows where we'll be come the end of the season. That's what Thomas Tuchel wants to integrate into the squad, which is why I think he's downplaying our title ambitions. We definitely have title ambitions. He just wants the players to take it one game at a time so that we don't get intimidated by the size of the challenge.
And you don't get too far ahead of yourself that, oh, we got this game, that game. One game at a time, keep picking up the 3 points, as Kishan said. However you need to do it, clean, dirty, ugly, just do it. Get the 3 points. It's very, very important. Danny Murphy said they have built some squad at Stamford Bridge and are brimming with confidence. They ended last season by winning the UCL and took that form into the game against Palace. For Tuchel to make so many changes and for everyone to be at it right away was impressive. 100% impressive. We want to talk about a couple of players before we talk about the Chalobah and Kounde discussion, which is going to be quite heated and it'll be quite exciting. I want to hear what the live chat has to say about that. We've got over 310 people live. Let's smash the like button. Get the likes well over 200, guys. You guys are enjoying it. You guys are hanging around. So smash that like button. Get the likes up to well over 200. If you're here for the first time as well, subscribe. We are chasing 8,000 subscribers. 7,000 was quick. We literally went from 6,000 to 7,000 in like 2 weeks. So let's go for the same sort of juggernaut again from 7,000 to 8,000 in quick fashion time. And check out the boys and their socials in the description right now. Okay, Kishan, a couple of players we want to discuss. Then we'll talk about Kounde and Chalobah. One, Christian Polissich. You had some smart things to say in the DM yesterday about Christian Polissich, and literally 5 minutes later, he banged in the goal. And I remember specifically telling you, Kishan, stay patient, because I personally, and this is going to be interesting, because you saw something different, Ameya probably saw something different, I saw something different. I did not like his performance against Villarreal. I did not like it. And the reason being is I felt I didn't see the same energy, the intensity that I saw yesterday. Yes, yesterday he still did not, when he dribbled, when he mistimed some of the passes, gave away the ball. But what I liked about yesterday was I liked his commitment. I just saw something different from the Villarreal. I just felt that he was trying immensely to make something happen or put in the hard work for the team. And just rewards. He was there, right there at the right spot, and he tapped in the goal. It was great movement from Aspie from the right, releasing Mount early cross in as well, and then creating that chaos in the box, and then Polissich being at the right place at the right time slots it in. A lot of people weren't really happy about his performance. There were a lot of fans that were saying, look, he's still, dribbling and going nowhere, not making the right decisions. But I feel hopefully this goal will be a catalyst for something big. And with Palace, generally he ends up scoring as well. So he really enjoys scoring against Palace. But how do you see his performance? Do you see that maybe that goal could be start of something?
I think so. And like with this player as well, Miz, you know how you have the thing with Ziyech, like Polissich for me was like such a player, and I saw him as this like, oh, we getting someone to replace Hazard when he was performing like that post lockdown. I've got his name at the back of his shirt as well, so I really like the guy. I've never had this like, but when I look at how he played in the Super Cup, it was just I didn't like that performance at all, like you said. And you should have seen the first sort of 20-25 minutes yesterday. Did you not just see him slip over every single ball that he got? Every time he got to his feet, he just looked lightweight and he'd slip over every single time. And you're looking at him and then you look at someone like Mason Mount, and every time Mason Mount got the ball, he was
so strong,
strong, so swift, sharp, putting the ball in, doing this, doing that.
By the way, Kishan, how scary is that? That was Mason Mount's second proper game, and he's already looking sharp.
Exactly. Like I looked at the Super Cup game, and I didn't really like it from Mason Mount, but I could understand why it was like that. And then on top of that, he still got the nerve to go and put the penalty in. So that's like what he did there. But the difference in performance that those few days made for Mason Mount is absolutely huge. And a lot of the team, to be fair, were more at it yesterday. But just talking about Christian again, everything just didn't stick with him. And I sent you that message that this guy, he really needs to step up or go off. And after I sent that message, it just stuck by when you told me, everything just stuck by him. And I remember he drew this free kick where he had two players around him and he did some quick dribbling, drew a free kick. And then I think that's the one in that position centrally where Mount hit it, it got blocked by the top of the wall. So he just came alive a bit more, and the ball seemed to stick with him a lot more. He wasn't bouncing off, I think, once or twice. Because the first 20, 30 minutes, I was like, is this Timo Werner in disguise? The way the ball was coming off him. But he got back into it. And the goal, that's the thing that he's got. He's got that instinct to be in the right place at the right time. And he got the goal
100.
nicely. And hopefully that kickstarts something. But here's another player we need to speak about, Timo Werner. Like, my goodness me, that was poor. Like,
look, I want to talk about this guy, and every time I talk about this guy, I get abused. So I now get really worried what I say because people take me the wrong way. I personally, and I'll ask what Ameya has to say about this particular player as well. But yeah, I completely agree about the Polissich situation. Look, Timo Werner, for me, yesterday I felt like he was a bit unlucky in a few times. I think there was an Alonso pass where he put Timo in and Timo took that shot. Literally, if it was a few inches on the right, it would have been a goal. And he hit the post.
Do you think that's luck, though? I don't think that is luck for me. Like, for me, that is not luck. That is like...
Yeah, that's probably just poor technique or just not...
I never had confidence, even when that ball came in and he hit it. I was like, that's where the ball is meant to go with this guy. Like, that's just where it's meant to go. Honestly.
That's where it was meant. He hit it where it's meant to go. So let's clap him.
It's like, if you got Lukaku there, you know where the ball's supposed to go. If you got Werner, you know where the ball's supposed to go. And people will say the quality of the runs thing, and I get that. Like, he's always going to have that. But someone played him through. I think it might have been Chalobah, actually. Nice long ball over.
Yeah, it was a nice long ball from Chalobah. Yeah.
So there's one long ball in the second half, and he's through. And you smash this one near post where he normally supposed to smash it. He goes far, and it just rolls off. And there's this other one where someone played him through. It might have been Jorginho, and he takes his first touch really wide, and then he can't even touch it before the ball goes off.
Ball goes out.
And he's right near the fans, and the fans are still clapping him. And I'm just like,
this is the thing,
at what
Kishan.
point do you stop him?
This is the thing. I've noticed where when he needs to cut in and whip it, he goes wide.
And then he's struggling to keep it on, isn't he, with the left foot?
Then he's exactly. And then sometimes you'll get the long ball, the first touch absolutely, annihilates him. Ameya, let's go to you, man, about Timo Werner. I said yesterday, look, maybe I was scared. I just didn't want to get abused online. And I said, look, he's unlucky. Maybe, it will come good. Lukaku should help him out. But I have to admit, Ameya, there's few areas technically he needs to really work on that. And his movement is great. But then when he gets into the box with the ball, it's like he forgets what is the right thing to do. He always takes the harder option. Like, he'll take it with his left. And with your left foot, you don't really have, an awesome... You don't really have a great right foot to start off with, let alone a good left foot. Do you know what I mean? So, come in with your right and bang it with your right. Maybe you'll have a better shot. But I don't know, man. How are we meant to feel about this particular player? Should we stay patient, wait till Lukaku comes in, see how they play maybe in tandem, whether if they do play in tandem? I don't know. What's your thoughts?
I think if he continues these performances, he's definitely going to be on the bench. I think already when we are picking, our best starting 11, I don't think Werner makes our best starting 11. Definitely not. So he would probably be sort of like an impact player coming on later in the game. I mean, when you're leading and then the opposition start leaving gaps in behind, he's that player who's going to come in and exploit those gaps. That's the sort of role I see Werner having this season personally. I do think Lukaku will definitely benefit Werner, but how many games is he going to get together? That's the real concern. Right? Yeah. Especially, but I think with Lukaku, right, it would definitely be, especially if we do play with two up front, it's definitely going to be Havertz or one of them. But then if we do play him centrally with two wingers on the side, then it could be Polissich as well. So we don't know what Tuchel's going to do yet. And quite frankly, I don't think Tuchel does either. He's just going to look at each game and then decide, which is the best possible combination for this particular game. So I do see Werner actually getting a lot of games this season, easily against, let's say, Liverpool. I definitely think Werner's going to start the game against Liverpool, considering how high they press. So I would say, certain games, I think Werner's going to come in and have a good impact, but other games he's probably going to be an impact substitute. But I mean, as long as he's content with the role this season,
maybe
we're
even
gonna have
Man
to see.
City.
And Man City as well, exactly. You know, the sides which play with the high line. So, but I would be very surprised if he were to be as involved as he was last season. I think it's going to be definitely a lot lesser this season. And as long as he wins, I don't think, quite frankly, he cares. But it's not going to be a first team role. Like on FIFA, you have the various roles assigned to players. It's not going to be crucial first team player this season anymore.
Squad rotation player.
I love how we've just incorporated FIFA into this. Oberwine, thank you so much for this super chat. Werner needs space like a ton. Watch his highlights for Leipzig. I'm not worried though because of Lukaku and Havertz's chemistry. He will score 15 to 20. Yeah, we've always said it. Werner needs a lot of space, and whenever, go on.
Oh no, you carry on with that. I'll add this here.
I was going to say that whenever I see Werner play against a low block like yesterday, even though there was some space that we smartly created for him as well, and that's all down to Thomas Tuchel and his tactical awareness. I've always mentioned when it is a low block team and he's got his back against the defenders, he will have to rely on his ball control, and he will have to rely on his first touch. And right now, those are the things that are kind of letting him down a little bit. But yeah, Kishan, what were you going to say?
I don't know what you guys thought of him in that body language perspective, because I thought he looked close to tapping out yesterday. Like,
he was getting frustrated. He was.
Body language. He normally always seems up for it. Yesterday, it just seemed really different to me, where it looked like he just wasn't there for me. Like, I really don't know with this player. I hope he comes good, and I do want to see him in a few matches with Lukaku or whatever. But I don't really think much has changed from last season, if I'm being honest. Like, with this guy, we were hoping this season he'll improve quite a bit. I wouldn't bet my house on it if I was a betting man. Like, I don't think much is going to change.
Betting the house on that will be very, very risky, that's for sure. So I'm not betting my house. I may be able to bet my mobile phone, maybe, and that's worthwhile. And hopefully it turns around. I'll double up on that. But let's see what happens, ladies and gentlemen, with Timo Werner. I hope it turns around for him. I mean, look, if this guy fires, I said it last season, if this guy fires and he starts banging in the goals that he's meant to be, with the expected goal in his name. Last season, his expected goal was something crazy. And he ended up scoring
13.94 or something, and he scored 6.
And he scored 6. So if he ends up scoring the 13 that he's meant to, on top of the assists that he's getting, he'll become one of the best strikers there is. He literally will. So
literally, Miz, last season we expected a lot from him, like, because he comes off the back of scoring 28 in Bundesliga. We wanted him to translate this to our league, but now he's no longer that main man, because Lukaku is that guy that needs to score as 20, 25. If he in the background can get about 10, I think
that's decent.
We can call that happy, yeah. Happy days.
Yeah, that's decent.
And he will get a lot of space this season as well. That's what Werner said in the interview as well. I remember before Lukaku was even announced, right? He was asked in an interview, "What do you think about Lukaku coming here?" And then he went on to say, the way he described it, he said that Lukaku will be the magnet for the defenders. All the defenders will be on him, which will leave me more space to run in behind. So I think the Lukaku addition could really, really benefit Werner. The only issue with that is, Havertz and Mount is just better, and he might not get the necessary playing time. But yeah, depending on the games, I think Werner's going to get a decent amount of playing time. Hopefully, he can reach double digits, like Kishan said.
100%. All right, let's get straight into this one. Chalobah performance. I think we need to talk about this. This is the hot topic, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment. 350 live. Let's get the likes up to well over 200. If you're enjoying this, it's only going to get much better. Really want to hear from each and every one of you guys. I want to try and put up as many comments as I can as well in regards to this particular discussion. We're going to have Trevor Chalobah and Jules Kounde. So smash the like button, get the likes up to well over 300. If we can, it will be brilliant target for this particular stream. And if you're here for the first time as well, subscribe. 8,000 is the target now. We've reached 7,000. Check out the boys and their socials in the description. Ameya, I'll go to you first up. This is what Thomas Tuchel had to say about Chalobah's performance. This is super nice. It's what I truly believe in, that we can have the best players from abroad and famous players, but also it's about Chelsea having young guys from the academy who can make it and in the end he played alongside James and Mason Mount. He then goes on to say, this is very important to have these guys, these young guys and this mix. Okay, he even scored. It was perfect afternoon for him, and you could see everybody was very happy. He then talks about Trevor Chalobah's goal. Trevor's goal was well deserved. He's a very humble guy and has taken his chance to show his quality. It was not a gift. He was robust enough to play another 90 minutes. It was super nice. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I have to be honest. I was really close to tears when he banged in the goal and he went on his knees and he had his hand. I felt the emotion for him because this must have meant so much for him. And I tweeted something a few days ago saying that is a role model right there, Trevor Chalobah, showing the youngsters how to make it into the first team with great loan spells, with a great preseason, commitment, intensity, desire, the lot, everything that you can, put out there. And I tweeted as well yesterday post-match that Jules Kounde was buzzing and personal terms were agreed with Chelsea. I think his biggest worry is at the moment Trevor Chalobah. Like that personally, it's no one else, but it's Trevor Chalobah because of his rise that we've seen in the preseason and obviously against Villarreal, probably man of the match there as well. And Crystal Palace, I think he did end up getting man of the match as well. So, I mean, I had a very interesting discussion with Ryan yesterday on the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, do check out the review that we did yesterday where Ryan, and there's a video that's going to come later tonight as well, where I've got the clip showing what Ryan's thoughts were tactically, whether we need Kounde and Chalobah as well. And he was sort of saying that we should probably have both because both are just as important. So do check that out. I don't want to give too much away on that particular video. But Ameya, my thought process was that the way Chalobah is playing on the right side, defensively, he's a monster. Going forward, if given the instruction and the license, I think he's quite okay to do that. He's got a good shooting technique, as we saw yesterday. His awareness, as I've said, his great commitment. He's a ball playing defender as well. It's not like he's shy with the ball. So I was sort of thinking, well, is the Kounde money better served to get a DM instead? So what's your thoughts on this whole situation at the moment?
I would agree with Ryan. I think both of them are required for this. I mean, for this season, honestly. But he's really impressed me a lot, and it's like you said, he's such a role model because at the youth academy stage as well, right? I mean, Chelsea always is in the hunt for the youth FA Cups and the under 21 Premier Leagues, the reserve leagues, and all of that. Right? Chelsea is always right up there, despite what who our academy graduates are for that season. But Trevor Chalobah that season, of course, they did win, but he wasn't one of I wouldn't say one of the star performers in the side. He was obviously a very good player, otherwise he wouldn't even be there in the squad, but he wasn't one of those star players. But he's worked hard. He's gone on loan 3 times to the Championship, I think, and then once to League One, and he's done well on the loan spells there. He's got a lot of experience, and this season as well, I don't think anyone would have expected Trevor Chalobah to come back and have the performance that he did. I mean, I remember even the youth accounts, right? Like the youth accounts,
the purest youth accounts.
Yeah, those guys, even they said that this exceeded all their expectations. That just shows, right? It doesn't matter how good you were at youth level. It doesn't matter how good you were on your loans. As long as you've learned something, as long as you show that you've learned something and that you have the ability to improve and just do what the manager asks you to do, trust the manager, then you're going to make it. And that's what Trevor Chalobah showed yesterday. And that's why, I mean, this comment here as well, Trevor Chalobah, he is very good, right? He was very good with Lorient last season as well, although he did play as a DM.
By the way, Ameya, just on that, I saw a compilation today of his Lorient days as a DM. Excellent.
Exactly. Which is
the
why
way he turns as well. I'm starting to think, he's playing as an RCB, but if you look, as an RCB, that formation kind of switches and he becomes part of the midfield as well. It becomes Christensen and Rudiger as the 2 in the back, and then obviously the wing back pushes up, and you have Chalobah kind of slide into the midfield. That's why he drove into that midfield area and took that shot. I think he
Exactly.
can be a DM now. I was sort of doubting this yesterday, but after looking at some of the clips from the Lorient days, I think he can.
Yep, he easily 100% can. So I would say Trevor Chalobah is a fantastic player. I think he's still not completely molded into one position, like you said. He could still turn out to be a DM. He could, or be the right centre back as well. But I would say, he exceeded everyone's expectations, and that's what determination gets you. Honestly, it doesn't matter what everyone else says, as long as you keep your head down and you work hard. The results will come. If you do what the manager tells you to do, you will be rewarded. And that's what Trevor Chalobah did yesterday. And he was excellent. I think he's not been dribbled past yesterday or against Villarreal in both the games. And then, his long passing was excellent. He's very good at playing out of pressure. And then, he's driving forward as well. Good, decent link-up play as well. And that goal as well, right? Fantastically shot. And when he sees the space, he does get into it, right? He doesn't just stay back and say, you know what, that's not my job. When he gets the space, he gets into space, and if he's given time, he takes the shot on, right? I mean, honestly, I did not expect him to shoot that, if I'm being very honest, but and you could hear the crowd saying shoot as well in the background. So and then he took the shot on, and then it went in. So honestly, until you do it, you'll never know. So
to get it in Ameya as well, like you see, like it's his first game and he has a pop and he gets in, and even to just get that in on your first game, or to get over the course of the season, you see how many times Rudiger has a pop, like so every game Rudiger would have one pop. So to actually get one in as well, it shows like he's got the talent with shooting and stuff. And with the whole DM stuff, he was coming really advanced with the ball as well. And Ameya's right, like his long balls, they literally land right to the feet of Aspilicueta every single time.
That long ball for Werner, that was gorgeous, man.
That was just amazing as well.
Cut out the whole midfield and straight to Timo Werner.
And it's like, we're not just giving him unnecessary praise because, he's an academy, whatever. He was like literally brilliant alongside. I thought the whole defense was like amazing, Rudiger, Christensen, and him, but he obviously stood out because he was coming forward with the ball, he was pinging them out, like he just landed exactly where he wanted to, and then the goal on top, it was just his game, so it was brilliant.
100. I mean, these are the stats. We've got 93% pass rate, 75% accurate passes, 100% shot accurate. They took that one shot, obviously. 5 out of 6 accurate long balls. There you go. 90 touches, 4 duels, 1, 3 clearances, 1 tackle, 2 aerials, 1 interception, 1 recovery. As Ameya said, not being dribbled once past, and also against Villarreal too. Roby is asking, Ms. pull out Nathaniel Chalobah, his particular tweet. Let me see if I can bring that up, because I did see it somewhere here. Here we go. My bro makes his first start in the Premier League for Chelsea. He then scores in that game, and my team wins first game of the season. I think it's time to shake this sickness off. That's brilliant, man. When you have the brothers, the love, it's fantastic to see. I do want to just bring out quickly some of the quotes from Chalobah. We've got here, let's see this one. Trevor Chalobah, I'm lost for words at the moment. It's been an amazing week for me. It literally has. I mean, he's gone from being loaned, coming in pre-season, then getting that opportunity against Villarreal in the Super Cup, winning the Super Cup, and now the first Premier League match he features and he wins his man of the. It's been an incredible week. And then over here he's saying, I've been at this club since I was 8, playing at Stamford Bridge, where I've watched a lot of games. I've been a ball boy and come with my family on Champions League nights. Finally playing here is amazing. Just quickly, boys, Kishan, the Jules Kounde situation. So how are you looking at this? Keep both. Don't worry about Kounde. Loan out Chalobah, bring in Kounde. I mean, what's your thoughts?
See, I think it's all relative to how much money and business we've got left. So if, like, from my perspective, if we're only going to sign one player, or we only have the money to sign one player, then even before the whole Chalobah stuff happened, I would have said DM over centre back is a need that we need more. And then Chalobah emerges in that right centre back spot and does really well, advancing with the ball, etc. Aerially as well, Miz, like, he's very good, because I don't know how tall he is, but he wins a lot. Yeah, so he's got height on his side as well. So you can imagine if I already thought that we centered back wasn't an urgent need for us, then I'm definitely going to think now, especially with the emergence of Chalobah, that we should spend that money on a DM if we can only bring one player. If obviously if the resources are unlimited and we can do Kounde and this guy, then yeah, why not? Obviously, but it's just for me it seems unnecessary. But I get that point about backing Tuchel, obviously. So if he wants Kounde, then I'll back it. But from my view as a fan, I'd like to see Chalobah stay on if he's going to perform like that, get some consistency under his belt. And then on top of that, even if he doesn't, I think we've still got enough, way more than enough cover with the amount of centre backs and players that can play right centre back or in the middle as well. So for sure, for me, get a DM instead.
Yeah. Some are saying sell Zuma, sign Kounde, keep Trevor Chalobah. I've got here James also saying having Chalobah and Kounde both is important for our defensive. Tuchel is not asking for too much. Do any of you consider injuries might happen as well? Exactly. We look a bit thin in midfield without Kante. We must remember Kante didn't feature, and it could be the same situation where this season again, where Kante picks up those niggly injuries and we may not see him. I mean, I want to ask you, you've already mentioned that Trevor Chalobah gives the option of not just a CB, but also someone in DM. I mean, does he fill the void? I suppose, do we go for someone like Kounde who can absolutely, make the right side dynamic? Him being in the RCB, he's going to bomb forward and absolutely, give that extra bit of edge on the right side. And if we do need cover on the DM, you can have someone like Chalobah come in as a backup option if Kante is injured or Jorginho needs a bit of rest or Kovacic. So are you looking at a Kounde in or not really? Keep Trevor Chalobah and get a DM, or you're looking at let's let go of Trevor Chalobah on a loan and then Kounde in and a DM? What's your thoughts at the moment?
I think it would depend on who leaves the club. Honestly, that's what I'm basing this on. I mean, if Zuma is sold, then I would say sign Kounde 100%, right? But then at the same time, if Zuma is not able to secure a move away, then I would say, loan out Trevor Chalobah because that's important, right? I mean, we don't know if, of course, Zuma didn't play yesterday, but we don't know if Trevor Chalobah can get consistent game time. I know that yesterday he proved that he definitely can, but he's vulnerable at that age, right? One bad performance can completely ruin him. That's what happened with Tomori, right? He had like one or two bad performances and then he just went completely out of favor. He was our first choice centre back.
And you know what, Ameya? There's a lot of people that have been saying as well that wait till he plays against like your Man Cities and your Man United. So he hasn't been challenged in that level yet, but so far he looks very good. But yeah, I completely understand your point.
Exactly. Like so far he looks good, right? But then as a youngster, you don't have that gritty mentality yet. And sometimes when you have that one bad game, it sort of knocks you off, right? And then that has an effect on your performances. And as a manager, you can't keep trusting someone who isn't up there mentally, right? So because that's going to cost your team. So I would say, personally, if we're going to sign Kounde and sell Zuma, then we should let Trevor Chalobah go out on a loan for this season. I mean, definitely not a permanent transfer. I think that's been established by everyone. But a loan to a decent side, I think that those performances, would have alerted a lot of Premier League sides who are in need of centre-backs as well. I'm definitely sure a lot of clubs will be, looking at our games and they would have been like, you know what, we weren't interested in Chalobah before, but having seen him perform in the Super Cup and in the Premier League, right, we think he would be a good addition.
His stocks would have gone up massive.
Exactly. So I think a lot of people would be interested. A lot of Premier League clubs could also end up being interested in Chalobah. And if they can guarantee him regular game time, then I don't see any reason why he shouldn't go out on loan this season, especially if we get Kounde over the line. But for me, I think DM is still the order. I mean, before the season started, if someone asked me, who are your two players? Okay, which are the two positions you would want to sign? I would say striker and then DM, right? I didn't even say centre back, actually. Yeah. The situation changed when the Kounde links emerged. So obviously, I'll back the manager if he wants Kounde, right? 100%. I get the Rudiger contract situation, Christensen's contract situation, Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta's age. I get all of that. But as things stand, to compete for the title, if there's one position that I really want us to secure, it's the defensive midfield position. So it depends on how many players we manage to sell as well. But I would have to say, DM first and then Kounde in the end, if we do have the budget and time left. That's how I would prioritize it personally.
Nah, fair enough, man. Yeah, it is. It is getting quite. I mean, the season's already started. We literally have maybe half this month left for the transfer season to be finished. Yeah, I think we are still in line to get Kounde. Let's see what.
Is that did he
Yeah.
look at us? We're the
The
captains now.
DM, literally, Declan Rice is not happening. Guys, can you hear me?
Yep, about
Yeah,
now.
you're back now.
We
Did-
missed
did
a
I lo-
little bit. Yep.
Did I lose you guys? Did I lose you guys? Sorry. I was saying that.
You know what you look
Yeah,
like?
I don't know why my.
You look like
Huh?
Guaita watching the free kick go in yesterday.
I don't know why. Oh man, here we go. The spammers are here, man. Oh man, I just gotta block all these people out, man. Give me 1 second, guys, man. This is so annoying. Mods, please help me out. The mods that I've got on, help out the live chat. Any spammers, just please cancel them out. Yeah. In regards to the transfer, I was literally saying that it's only 15 more days or so left. We're probably still looking at someone like Kounde to come in. So that probably will happen. And then I don't know whether we get someone like a midfielder literally running out of time. Declan Rice, I don't think it's going to happen this transfer window. I don't know whether West Ham's going to be okay to lose him at this stage of the season. And Tchouaméni, Monaco has made it to the Champions League, so they probably would like to keep someone like Tchouaméni still. So that's going to be an interesting factor to see what happens there. So let's see what goes on. I think Kounde is still coming in, but it's an interesting discussion to have whether now with the Chalobah situation, what do we do? All right, let's move on to the final segment, which is the main, I suppose, headline news at the moment. The Tammy Abraham situation, man, I can't believe the spammers here, man. These spammers, they love my channel these days. Flyers, thank you so much for joining, my man. Flyers, I think I've got you as one of the mods, so please help out the live chat. Let me just check if I've actually got you as one of the mods. Flyers, yeah, I'll add you as a mod right now, Flyers.
How sad do people have to be?
Oh man, it's incredible. I don't understand. Zedvo Genius Matt, I've got you as a mod as well. So please help out as much as you can to eradicate this situation. Okay, so this is the Tammy news, ladies and gentlemen. It's pretty much confirmed. It is a done deal. Fabrizio Romano has given it a here we go. This is what it looks like. Kishan, I'll go to you first up. Fee of 40 million euros, 34 million. There's some add-ons as well, by the way, which doesn't show here. Yeah. It approximately comes out to about 38 or something million pounds anyway. Yeah, go on, Kishan.
It's 45 million euros. So I'll just do the convert. Yeah, it's 38.29 in pounds. So
yeah, there you go.
We wanted
more
40.
Or less.
I thought 40 was like the bare minimum we should get, but like I factor in selling him abroad is different to selling him in the league, and I rather take like 38 from Roma than like 40 from Arsenal. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I don't want him to go to any of the Premier. I didn't want him because I don't want him to bang in goals for the Premier League teams. I'm more than happy for him to go to Roma. I think this is a better move as well. The Roma move is a better move under Jose Mourinho. Hopefully, gets that kick up the backside, develops his game the way that we want him to be, in terms of aerial ability, link up and whatnot, movement. But yeah, Kishan, for about approximately 40 million pounds, 38 million pounds, salary of about 4 to 5 million per year, euros, contract length 5 years, buyback clause. We've got the buyback clause, 68 million buyback clause. We don't want to make the same mistake as obviously we did with Lukaku. If this guy turns out to be a baller in a few years' time, we can possibly get him back at 2023. Kishan, first of all, what do you think about this particular, the contract deal that we've made, and also his move to Roma? What's your thoughts?
Well, we know how hard it is negotiating with Italian teams. So I know we wanted 40 million, but taking 38 from someone like Roma, I think it's a very good deal. On his side, it seems like a very good deal. And it's like the Premier League, sometimes it just gets sick of certain players. And I think certain players have that, where a lot other teams look at the league and look at Tammy as like one of these players that they wouldn't want at their team. So like Roma's such a good chance for him to go and like reinvent himself. No one will watch. He could just start pad and get a goal. We look at the match and think, wow, Tammy did this, Tammy did. And I think him in Roma, it wouldn't even surprise me if he hit 20 league goals in his first season, because he's just a goal scorer, Miz. And like, on top of that, and it didn't quite work out for us because he's not the style that we need. But maybe if he can develop his game under less scrutiny there, because there's massive scrutiny. We need to win now and here, and that's why we spent so much money on Lukaku. If he can develop less scrutiny and he gets better the next coming years with that buyback clause, like that's not off the table. That buyback clause should actually motivate the guy to come back.
Yeah, he should probably aim for that, right, Kishan? He should aim for that.
Sure. For sure. When you look at like when the two contracts end, like Lukaku 2026 and Tammy 2026, if he does well at Roma, he'll be gone way before 2026. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like it's very at the same time. Wait 5 years and get Tammy back. He'd go somewhere else in that time. But we've definitely got a good shot with him. I don't think we will be required to buy him back, but I can just see him back at us anyway, just that poetic sort of justice. And I think he'll go there and get a lot of goals. Will he improve? In some of it, I can't see his like heading.
There is a lot of improvement, right? There needs to be a lot of improvement.
A lot of improvement, and I still do think he needs to bulk up a bit. So we'll see if he can do it. I think in terms of goal scoring, he's not going to have a problem. And you actually had a Roma fan in here asking like how Tammy is.
I noticed.
Is he going to be better than Werner? You don't have to worry about that. Like he's going to score a lot more goals than Werner will score for us as well. Yeah. So it's like you've got yourself a goal scorer and a good replacement for Edin Dzeko, someone who's young, come in hungry to prove himself, come in wanting to move back to us. So we'll see how that goes.
100%. Ameya, this is the latest one from Fabrizio. Thank you so much for letting me know as well, Ameya. Tammy Abraham has just landed in Rome. He'll undergo his medical and then sign as new AS Roma player until June 2026. Salary around 4 to 5 million net per season. Chelsea will receive 40 million plus 5 million in add-ons, permanent deal, 80 million buyback clause starting from June 2023. Jose Mourinho apparently called him. Roma were desperate for him. They wanted him. I feel like Tammy Abraham will be their starting striker. This is what he wants. Tammy wants to lead the line. He wants to get that respect from that particular club that believes in him. Roma seems to be that one as well after letting go of Edin Dzeko, who's gone to Inter Milan. I know there's some comments that's going around that apparently Tammy Abraham said in the dressing room that he was waiting for Arsenal. The offer just didn't come around. I don't like how he was waiting for that. Like, I can't believe you're waiting for, and honestly, I'm being very humble when I'm saying this to the live chat. If there's any Arsenal fans out there or any Arsenal fans that may watch this down the track, you guys are a finished club. You really are. You literally are a finished club. You got battered by Brentford. And I hope you get battered by us next week. And you're probably going to get battered by Man City the week after. You could possibly be in the relegation zone after game 3. And I can't believe that Tammy was even contemplating to go to a particular club who's not part of Europe, who's not really going to challenge anything this season. Whereas you look at someone like Roma, yes, they're in the Conference League. Whoop-de-doo, it's not big. But at the end of the day, it's still a European competition for Tammy to showcase his talent. But at the same time, Roma's going to be challenging for the top 4 in Serie A. If not, under Jose Mourinho, they're going to be going for the title over there. So you could be very well find yourself in the mix of winning the Serie A, and then you find yourself being in the Champions League next season. I can't believe he was actually even contemplating Arsenal. What do you think about this Roma situation for him, Ameya?
I think it's a good move in the end that it did happen. But at the same time, about the whole Arsenal thing, you've got to remember that players are people just like us, right? And maybe he wants to settle down in London, and which is why he was waiting for another London club to come in, which is why I always said that West Ham would be the perfect destination for him. But apparently they didn't think so, or they just didn't have the required amount of money to tempt us into selling. But I think, how it's worked out in the end, the Jose Mourinho call is probably massive for Tammy Abraham, right? And I remember, if you guys watched the All or Nothing Spurs documentary that was on Amazon Prime, the way Jose Mourinho talked to Harry Kane, right? He said, "I'm going to make you explode," and he did. Harry Kane won the Golden Boot. He also got the most number of assists in the league. So maybe Jose Mourinho said something like that to Tammy Abraham as well. And
Bro,
hopefully
I can't wait for Jose Mourinho to have those Amazon all or nothing comments the way he did with Spurs, but like with Tammy, sits down and talks to him in that manner. That'd be so epic. I hope someone could like video that and then share it. Imagine the conversation he had with Harry Kane, having those sort of conversation with Tammy Abraham. Wow.
Exactly. So I think that's what would have probably convinced Tammy at the end. Maybe he thought that, waiting around wasn't such a good idea. And, instead of just maybe the offer would never come, right? You never know. Arsenal are a dodgy club that they want, they're bidding a massive amount of money for Aaron Ramsdale and stuff. I don't even know what's going on around there. But maybe the offer would have never come, right? So I think he thought that, this is the right time for me to move on. The Serie A is sort of open league as well. I wouldn't say it's as expansive as
Inter Milan's in the bin at the moment. They've lost literally everyone. So I think AC Milan's back on track. Juve are always there and thereabouts. Sarri with Lazio. So it's a very open one. Yeah.
It's a very open league. So I would say, fair play to Tammy Abraham, and hopefully he does bang in the goals. I can easily see him getting, I wouldn't say 20, but close to 20 at least. I mean, he got 15 with our first season here, right? So I would say 20 should be his target, which he wants to hit this season, and then he can improve on that next season. But I think he's got to improve his overall, hold-up play and a lot of other attributes which aren't there yet. So I would say, it's a pretty good move, and hopefully he can explode under Jose Mourinho like Harry Kane did, and hopefully he can score a lot of goals there, and hopefully he has a successful career ahead.
I'm here. I'm back.
I think
Kishan's
video is stuck.
Yeah, your video is stuck.
But can you hear me?
I think we can hear you. We can hear you.
But you're stuck like Guita once again.
Yeah.
Let's try it better.
Meanwhile, Phantom on many topics. I did notice your super chat, but at that time there was just spammers that absolutely spammed the living daylights out of it. Do you mind just putting your comments again, and then I'll put that up over here? So really, really apologize, my man. The spammers absolutely destroyed the chat, so I've lost the super chat. So if you're still around, please put that super chat. Well, you don't need to pay the super chat, but you just need to just put that comment down again, and I'll put it up. But Ameya, what were you saying?
What was I saying? I hope Tammy Abraham does succeed over there, and hopefully scores a lot of goals, and then maybe comes back to Chelsea some fine day. We shall see.
100. Let me just bring back Kishan. There you go, Kishan. You're back, my man.
All good now?
All good. Yeah, absolutely right, Ameya, man. That hopefully he does well, and then in the future, if he does well, we can always get him back. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings up. I think Kishan's stuck again, man. Kishan, you're stuck again. Oh no, you're back. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us till the end of this particular show. It's all right, bro. It's all right. As I said, Phantom of many topics, my man. I do apologize that I missed your super chat. Do reach out to me. Again, as I said, the spammers absolutely killed it for me. I couldn't catch up to that. But if you're still around, please do super chat that. But ladies and gentlemen, that brings us till the end of the show. We've covered the Tammy Abraham story. Looks like he's very imminent to go to. Here we go. Thank you so much, Phantom on many topics. So he said Chalobah and Sydney Swans are invincible. I don't think many people would know who Sydney Swans are. Guys, Sydney Swans are an AFL team, which is Australian Football League, which isn't football. We call football here soccer. So you wouldn't know who Sydney Swans are, to be honest. But they are invincibles at the moment. Absolutely right. But ladies and gentlemen, please smash the like button before you go. Still well over 300 people live. And subscribe. We're literally very close to 7.1K. I think about 10 subscribers away from 7.1. So subscribe. Check out my boys and their socials in the description. We're about 26 likes away from 200 likes. That'll be very, very good milestone to hit. So let's get those likes up to 200 straight away. As I said, we've covered a lot of ground here. Tammy Abraham news, Lukaku No.9, We should probably see a Tammy Abraham official announcement maybe today or tomorrow. We recapped the game and a few of the quotes that happened post-match. Kounde Chalobah discussion was very interesting as well. And do look out for a Kounde Chalobah video that's going to come out around 7 p.m. UK time. So do check that out on my channel. Smash the notification button as well to stay in touch with that. So yeah, until next time, everyone, take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow, by the way. Down Under Football Crew will be back with Scott and RJ. We had Mark Bosnich last week, but this week it'll be just the boys. We'll be recapping the big ticket news in the Premier League or any other leagues. So do look out for that. That will be around midday UK tomorrow. So do check that out. Until next time, everyone. See ya.